Hi, welcome back. It's Talk Tuesday, part 2. I'm Susan B. Lochocki, running for President of the United States with the Green Party. Welcome back. So, it's Talk Tuesday. Technically it's Friday morning, but I had some difficulties and a few things I had to take care of because I'm coming to the States soon, so I had to put my Talk Tuesday on the side. Plus my daughter was sick and possibly with the coronavirus, so just things got a little topsy-turvy here in my little home. And so anyways, I'm back. And we're supposed to be talking about harassment. So I have to be honest with you, I actually already made 2 videos for Talk Tuesday on harassment. I already made this video twice, and I keep deleting it. And the reason why I deleted those first 2 was because, I really wanted to try to give you the full volume of the things that the people did to me over the past, I guess really, truthfully, it's sort of started as soon as I walked into the door of Switzerland. But the more serious stuff started over the last 10 years. And so I made 2 videos that were really about all the harassment. And then at some point I said, you know what, actually, you don't need all those details. That is not what you need. What you need to know is what I did about the harassment, actually. So, and that is where the real power comes. It's not about the harassment. It's about how you deal with it. So, I will tell you just a few pieces of advice. And one is, so here in Switzerland, oftentimes you might see 2 older ladies sitting on a park bench around a school. And these are ones who are spying on the children. So I will say that I was walking my dog and I passed by these 2 ladies once near my daughter's school. And there were 2 boys who were going further up on the hill. It was break time or whatever, and they wanted to, I guess, be alone. Now, I don't know if they were doing drugs, or I don't know if they were possibly a gay couple. But what I can tell you is that probably those 2 old ladies knew what they were up to, because that's what these women do. They sit around on the park benches and they take notes, and they know what your children are doing, or what your husband's doing, or what your wife is doing. And that's how they do it. So, 2 things. If you're the parent, you need to keep that door open with your child and accept them, no matter what happens. And you have to ask yourself, do you want the neighbors to know more about your child than you do? Because if that's the case, then you don't have to do anything. But if you actually want to know what your child is doing and you want to know your child better than your neighbor, then you need to take time and you need to talk to your child about all sorts of things. And, as you know, there are difficult conversations, but you can get through them. And it's okay if you stumble into them and have them. It's just important to be there for your child and to understand what they're going through and to help them. So, and then if you're a child and you think you're going up on the hill and nobody's noticing you, well, forget it. And also, I will say too, that if you're at like a swimming pool area and there's only 1 stall available and whatever, you're with somebody who is questionable, who you're not sure their motives, it might be that there's a camera in there. So just to let you know, you never know what's going on. And I know these things because of personal experiences with them. So, just everybody out there, be careful. There are some people who are up to no good, and it's not pleasant. So, what else? Yeah. No, I think I'll stop there. I don't think I'll tell you any more of the specific instances. I'm sure they're going to come up over the next months, and so you'll have to keep watching and find out. But I think that that really is one that, with these ladies that sit around and watch people, I don't know. Yeah, they're not up to good. So with that said, there I was. Jesse's treatment the second time was done, and things were getting back to normal, and I was starting to do some artwork, and then suddenly everybody that I knew sort of really pulled away. And not only that, but people started being mean to me, and the harassment picked up. I had like a parking spot at my new studio where I was doing artwork, and they were parking in it illegally. It had a sign that this is a private parking spot, and they were even parking like used cars that couldn't probably move anymore. And by doing so, they blocked the parking spot, and then I could have had the things towed, but there's no guarantee that I would get the money back. And the police couldn't do anything because they didn't know who it belonged to. So, I was trapped into paying for a parking spot, but not having a parking spot. So, so I had little things like this going on. And I was so a little frustrated, needless to say. But, I realized something. I started really looking up bullying and what that means, because everything was coming from different people. And I know that Switzerland is well known for being a sort of a bullying society, and especially from the other international women I've met here. It's not just me, it's other women too, who are here from different countries, not just the United States. And they all tell me that they've had these really bad experiences where, they're just being bullied, and their kids and everything, and it's really not pleasant. So I don't know if I told you this in a past video, but I walked into the gas station, a local gas station, and two ladies were there, and they were talking about, hey, that's the woman who had the 2 abortions. And I was flabbergasted. I thought, what the heck? Even at a gas station, you're telling people? So I knew then that it was really just everywhere in the community. All my medical secrets were released, and nothing was private. And that's when I realized too that, okay, this I guess is about, it must be a Christian-based thing about my my abortions. So I decided, since people were bullying me in this way, that I would fight back. And I had an art show coming up in a neighboring town where I think I told you this, there were going to be about 40,000 people that came by my art stand there. There turned out to be only about 30,000 that came that year, and probably technically only about 10,000 walked by my stand, I'm going to say. Out of those, I probably talked to about 500, and out of those, I only got a little over 120 smiles. A lot of people said no, and I could sort of tell, like the ones who were there to bully, and the ones who were there to just be there, who were just normal people, but didn't want to smile. So there were like two types that were coming up. But anyways, so let me backtrack just a second. It was the summer, I forgot what year, and I was at this show, I had this show coming up in September, and I had been being harassed, and even Jesse was being harassed that late spring into the summer, and then we went on vacation to the United States. And in the United States, everybody was smiling and happy, and there was no bullying going on. Nobody went to my local grocery store and heard the latest gossip, and so we were having a good time. And then I get back to Switzerland, and it was back to the bullying. And this was like early August. So then I thought, what can I do with all these people? And I thought it would be great to photograph their smiles, because I think they need help smiling, and then I'll do that. So and then I'll put them into like a form together and unite the smiles, the hatred with the good, and so yeah. So I gathered everything, got it all ready, and it was the opening night of the art show, and I got a few smiles then, and I went home, I worked on them, printed them out, brought them back, put them up, and then the next day I got more smiles, and I kept doing that every day, and then finally I had this the first smile cloud, which was in my opinion it was a bit smaller than what I had hoped for. But on the other hand, maybe that's a reflection of the situation, It was anyways good for an example of how the smile clouds work at uniting people, and or showing which people don't want to be united. Some people don't want to be united. Some people they're not ready to let go of their hatred and their anger or whatever else is inside of them. I don't know why, but that's just the case. So it was really quite interesting. And what I had another point I wanted to make here with the smile clouds. Yeah, well, anyways, it got started. Oh, I know. While I was there at the art show, there was a guy who came by who was somehow in the police department of some sort. And I didn't think about it at the time, and actually it didn't even occur to me until coming up with this speech today, with this talk. A year later, after the art show and after my Smile Cloud project, and after talking to this man that I only now recently remembered, the Zurich police in Switzerland started a campaign to be friendly and nice. Not only them with people, but also people in general. And they had people's face and smiling. And normally in Switzerland, you don't see people smiling. They're well known for not smiling. So it was a whole campaign, and I couldn't believe it, because it was clear it was, a direct relationship to my Smile project because of how they were presenting it and everything. I mean, the connection was so there that I was so taken back that I could inspire such a movement in the government, in the town or the city or whatever in the police department, that they would hear what people say and actually react to it. So my peaceful protest with the smiles actually worked, and it worked really well. So I am so happy that people do listen. Not always, but they do listen. And I congratulate the city of Switzerland, the city of Zurich, and the police department for promoting that, for doing that. I think it really helped. And the campaign lasted about 2 years. I don't think they still have it anymore, but you could see the smiles and everything on the trams and on the buses and just everywhere. It was being promoted everywhere. It was really great. Yeah, and if you're living in Switzerland and listening to this, or living in Zurich and listening to this, you know what I'm talking about. So the other thing, when this was going on with me, it was also a year where there were some really sad suicide stories of children who committed suicide because they had been raped or harassed or bullied in some way, or photographed, or I don't know what. And because of my own bullying, it just, these stories rip my heart out every time I hear them. And I started really researching about bullies and bullying, and I have come to the concept that I'm actually really flattered, because if so many people are taking time out of their lives to focus on bullying me, I am having some sort of an impact, and I must be really important because they are taking their time to worry and focus on what I'm doing. So it's really, bullying is actually flattery. So when it happens to me now, I just say, I'm flattered. I'm flattered that you're taking your time to, do things about me. What can I say? Thank you. So anyway, so the next time any of you get bullied, you just need to realize that they're using their time for you. So you should just thank them. Say thank you. Thanks for thinking of me. I appreciate it. You could think of me in a nicer way, but, well, anyways, you're thinking of me, so it doesn't matter. And just be proud of yourself that you're having that impact, because these people, they need to learn to have understanding and tolerance, that the world is bigger than their own world, and that you have a right to be, period. So, but they're obviously lacking something in their own life, and we should also feel sorry for them. We don't have to help them, but we can also just have the understanding that they're the ones with the problem, right? Okay. So, I think that I don't have to do another one. I think I really got all of that in there. The I'm flattered, I do have a small Facebook page about it. It's something I started, and then because the Smile Cloud stuff was getting so popular, I decided to put the I'm flattered on hold because I didn't want to do like 2 campaigns at once. But anyway, it's there if you want to check it out. It's one of my pages. So that is, that's it, I guess, for the Talk Tuesdays for this week. I think now I'm glad I didn't go into and release the ones I did with all the terrible things that I've had to deal with. But anyways, I'm glad you could stop by. I hope I gave you some words of wisdom. And I wish you a nice day or night wherever you are. And I guess it's Wisdom Wednesday next. All right. So I wish you a good time wherever you are. Peace be with you. Bye.